head back home now. Bumbo clot, pussy clot, Ross clot, me bumbo clot, me pussy clot, look yo, me bumbo clot, me park up for a little while there. Me park up for a little while there, cause Jaja me out down me mouth. Me blood clot, me out down me mouth. Me blood clot. Me park up a little bit there. Me bumbo clot. Me park a little bit. Jesus Christ. Me blood clot. Yo, hey.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. The video that you saw at the start of this, just another day in paradise with these worthless farmers. These people that raise cows, sheep, goats, whatever you call it, and how they just have their goats, Rete, Lele, just roaming across the street, running across the street. So just imagine you going at not speed, meaning blazing like a mad bat out of hell, and licking at one of them cow, car flip over, cow DEAD also, yo. The sad thing is that this has been going on for a while, meaning a couple of decades. A year or so ago, we saw that a whole bunch of persons lost their life en route to Negril, coming from Negril, going to Negril and over in that vicinity. We saw that the relevant authority came out and they were saying, we are going to impound, we are going to pound these people or pound these people's sheep, animals, and they will have to pay, and they are going to be charged for all of the lives that were lost. However, people, it seems as if it is just a 9-day talk because this incident just took place maybe about a day or so ago. And before I close, sorry for all the expletives that you heard in the video, but that is the way that Jamaican express themselves, especially when they are under stressful conditions, circumstances. So sorry to all of you self-righteous people that are out here saying that, why them have to use so much cussing? But it seems as if people like this kind of ish because that is the stuff that trends. Look at Chrissy, if you know exactly what I am speaking about. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called It Happened Again. It happened once more again. I am speaking about in excess of 200 guns and in excess of thousands of rounds of ammunition that was found, ironically, in an industrial water heater sent from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Industrial Terrace that is at the wharf. Based on what the police are saying, they are still counting them up the count from Sesame Street and they are tallying up everything. The amount of magazine, the amount of rounds, the amount of gun parts that equate to one gun. Thus far, 200. Now, people, when we hear this, we can only come to the logical conclusion that that wharf, Industrial Terrace, is like a sieve. A whole bunch of things are going through. However, it seems as if the proper people were not at the proper place to make the perspective go through. So therefore, things were found out. Somebody did attack or some sorts are missing in the puzzle. So therefore, anomalies were shown in this industrial heater at Industrial Terrace, that is wharf. Now, people, when we think about the fact that Jamaica, 85% of the murders in Jamaica is committed by tools, and we think about the fact that these tools are coming from Jamaicans more than likely, living overseas, that more than likely are involved in all sorts of illicit activity, taker, drugs, robbery, all sorts of rating. More than likely, these same people were gangsters, leave from Jamaica, go foreign, get an opportunity in the land of opportunity. However, taking opportunity of a bad situation in Jamaica and making it even worse, just for their own financial self-interest, just for their own egos. The truth and the fact is that these persons are no less evil than the people who roll up on some people place and blaze up all sorts of can, take away granny, take away little picnic, take away pregnant woman. Because whenever they send these tools and thousands of rounds, we know that these people are not straight shooters, so more than likely out of those thousands of rounds, probably hit the target maybe about 13 or 14 times or so. But my point is this. These people have zero conscience, have no love for country, no love or respect for life. Whenever they would send all these tools to Jamaica for create all sorts of mayhem, all sorts of destruction in the country. People, when the police catch people like these, they are supposed to put a couple of holes in their head and make sure that it counts. And the sad thing is that whenever we hear about this bus or seizure or fine at these wharf industrial terrace, and you ask the question, so how much people get arrested? How much people in custody? How much persons are going to be charged here, say? Them find the gun, them find the ammunition, them find the parts, them find the magazine. However, nobody was arrested yet. Investigation is ongoing. So we have to ask ourselves the standard procedures, protocols everywhere else. Whenever you find any sorts of drugs, whenever you find any sorts of gun or ammunition, don't you usually set up some sorts of sting? The question we have to ask, is this really a fine coming from the United States, or is the police lying to us? Because if they are not, it seems as if they don't have too much sense. Because like the saying goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting results, different results. Too many times we've seen too many seizures where not too many persons are caught. Too many stings are set up. And we just hear say gun fine, ammunition fine, but nobody get fined, nobody get convicted. Sad state of affair, point blank and period.
Yo, a video, take a bomb clap, pick it
Oh, take a baby out there, Anthony. A station me can go. Me a blood clot here in the station. You see there with him, see him. See a blood clot there with him, see him. See right there with him, girl. See right there with him, I kill me never. See right there with him. See a blood clot with him. See there with him. Sorry. Excuse. See baby there. Turn him round. Turn round the baby, make me see him. Turn him round. See him there. See what a girl do baby face there.
So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on a video that has been making its round on social media, where it is seen in some sorts of bush garrison area. A family decided that they were going to peel some lick on a young lady that was in the house. Got a hold of a baby, cannot show because of YouTube's policy, I might lose my channel. Not going to take that risk for your self-interest. She could be seen holding on to the baby while a man and couple women were pelting some lick on her, mostly in the head, in the face. She held on to that baby with a vice grip type hold. Was not letting off the baby until, of course, the lick them kind of get overwhelming. Then she decided to let go the baby while she was kicked outdoor. You could see visibly that the baby it was getting blue. You could see that the baby was probably suffocating. You could see that that baby was in immense pain. But that lady seems as if she was too stubborn to realize until, of course, let them get overwhelming. Now, people, it seems as if the devil is on a world tour and he stopped in Jamaica and him decides, boy, this is a prime location. I will never leave here. Cannot find a more appropriate place to conduct my devilish deeds, my demonic deeds. And videos like this prove something is wrong with this New generation, something is wrong with the people, and even worse, something is wrong with these women who are tasked to bring children, not their job, I'm just saying, and mostly protect them. But it seems as if they are intent in causing more harm than doing good. Something is definitely wrong. If you want this video, you can WhatsApp me 1-876-894-2711. Say that you want to see the video with the baby. Cannot show because of YouTube's policy. Leave your name. You want to join my WhatsApp group. I'll send it to you ASAP. Don't need to call me 100 million gazillion times. Point blank and period.
Come on, come here. Come on, come here. In a lane. Come on, come blood clot here. Lick me up. Sure. Lick me up. Lick me up, dog, man. Lick me up. Lick me. Lick me. Like a drop blood clot on the wall. Like a drop on me. Jesus Christ! Why? Drop blood clot like for me. Who's going to control like for me? That's what I'm
So the next thing that is popping in the news is based off a video that has been making its round all over social media that is said to have taken place off Tavern Avenue that is in Papine. Based on the information, based on the video, you could clearly see a licensed firearm holder take away a 57-year-old man known as Norris Farquharson. He works at a utility company. Conflicting, some people say that he's a blackmaker, some people say he work at JPS. Whether he was there to disconnect somebody light or not, don't really know the specifics of that. However, what I do know and what was clear, based on the video evidence, based on the audio evidence, is that this man, the 57-year-old man, utility worker or blackmaker, was taken off the block in cold blood. This was cold-blooded takeaway without a shadow of a doubt. Now here's the thing, based on the video evidence we saw, the man walking, running pastily, the man chasing behind him lies a firearm holder, them stop. There was a face-to-face confrontation. Him then step back, meaning the licensed firearm holder wheel and pop off and then blaze up several rounds. Could be 3, could be 4, could be 2. You then saw when Mr. Farquharson fell and hit the ground, he was out cold, tapped out. You could hear people bawl out and say, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. And then you hear the licensed firearm holder claim say the man pulled a knife on him. However, nothing in that video showed any sorts of approach by this man. Now here's the thing, as a licensed firearm holder, you're supposed to use that gun to defend yourself, meaning self-defense, or if you see a situation where you could quell some sorts of robbery. But in no case you're supposed to be the instigator or the agitator, meaning that chase down somebody, that means that your life is not in danger. The fact that you're chasing down the danger that you claim wanted to take away your life. No, that is called psychs. You were just using psychs to take away the man, premeditated or in your mind. Maybe you had ulterior motive. Maybe you always wanted to take away this man's life and you thought that it was going to be the opportune time and claim say him rush you with knife. All the otherwise, the video evidence and the audio showed the polar opposite, that you were the instigator. You were the cause of this and you were the solution, meaning taking away the man's life. People, it is a very sad state of affair. more than likely this licensed firearm holder is going to be charged. He is going to be convicted, and rightfully so. That legal firearm is going to be used in an illegal way. That means that you are going to get that first 15 that is going to be amped up by your deeds. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that 107 deportees Jamaicans are expected home today at the Norman Manley International Airport, or the Songsters International Airport. As a matter of fact, over the next 2 years or so, it is expected that 2,500 plus Jamaicans will be deported back to Jamaica from whence they came, especially those with criminal backgrounds. Based on the information, it is said that in excess of 665 persons, Jamaicans, were deported back in 2023, 814 in 2024, 331 thus far from January to April of 2025. So I want you to take a look to what one of those professional journalists at one of those traditional stations has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
Approximately 2,500 Jamaicans have been confirmed for removal from the United States in line with due process and logistical arrangements. These removals are expected to be executed over the next 2 years. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says that the government continues to monitor the matter carefully and remains in direct communication with its counterparts in the U.S. and other jurisdictions. He further emphasized that Jamaica, like other sovereign nations, is obligated under international law to accept the return of its citizens who are subject to deportation. Amid concerns surrounding public safety, particularly in relation to deportees with criminal backgrounds, Senator Johnson Smith says the government is emphasizing its structured and measured approach. She says Cabinet has approved a coordinated deportation response action plan and established a multi-agency working group to ensure an orderly, secure, and humane process for any mass returns. In 2023, a total of 655 Jamaican nationals were returned from the United States, and in 2024, this figure increased to 814. Between January and April this year, 331 nationals were removed. Meanwhile, Dr. Chang says arrangements have already been made to accommodate incoming migrants with a clear focus on security and reintegration.
So people, you heard what the professional has to say. They gave you the numbers, they gave you when they are scheduled to come back. And you hear the Jamaican relevant authorities saying that they are prepared. And it is the obligation of that country to accept the people who go to America, go overseas and commit crime, whether they overstay their time or whatever the circumstances is, and end up back to Jamaica behind the 8 ball from whence they came. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on a couple of videos, couple of pictures that have been making their rounds on social media, where it is said that a wanted man, wanted for the takeaway of a human life, his name is Gavin Heard, known as Bones, he was taken out by the police. I have a couple of pictures, wanted Wednesday, and then the next picture where he is laying stiff stone cold with him TM skin and eyes open, looking up above, hoping to go to heaven, but going to hell. But whatever the circumstances are, if it new or if it old, it is well deserved for him and his cronies. Whenever you take on the police, especially if you have a history of criminality, you will be taken out. Such is the case before or after. So it is in the beginning, so it's going to be in the end. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on a video that has been making its round over social media with an individual sitting on a chair, head laid back, a couple of holes in his head, where those holes are not supposed to be detrimental for his health. You could see all sorts of coolie that run all over the body, Mouth wide open, eyes open wide shut. Life gone, tapped out. All sorts of marrow, all sorts of things spill over the place. And the people them a ball out them throat hole. Now people, again, like me say, sometimes I get these videos, never seen them before. Persons tell me say it happened in a Blackburn pen, Cockburn pen. As to if it is breaking news, as to if it is old, as soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP. Sad state of affair, Froggy got FUCKED up. Straight on the chrome, assassination style, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.